Absolutely no. Demographics are definitely shifting in our favor in those areas in Kent County and out east. But thank you so much, first of all, for the MDJC for hosting this forum. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and all the members and to talk about our state house campaign out here in West Michigan. Please, after this forum, feel free to go to visit my website. It's very easy. It's billinthehouse.com. Check out some of the issues. Sign up to volunteer if you're in our area, but contribute if you are able to. To let you know a little bit about myself, again, my name is Bill Saxton. I'm the Democratic candidate for state representative here in West Michigan's 73rd District. I am married with 3 young children, ages 3, 3, and 5. And I'm a software developer by trade, an engineer, and a former small business owner. So I'll give you a little bit of history. My entrance into politics started in about 2016. As you know, there was a very emotional outcome to the presidential campaign in 2016. I remember going into my twins were newborn at the time, and I remember going into their rooms and apologizing and saying, I can't believe that we are bringing you into this world and the country that I love, where something like this could have happened. And I spoke with many family and friends and members of my community over the weeks and months afterwards, and there was really a common thread to a lot of our thoughts, and it was that we could have done more. We could have done more, and I just couldn't sit idle and watch while as things unfolded and things got worse over those first few months. Well, there was more hatred and division that grew in our country, and I knew that ultimately I wanted to be part of the solution. And so I looked to see what we could do locally to really make a difference, and I looked to my own state house district. Just as Jody said, we have similar districts. The 73rd district is historically a Republican district. In fact, only one Democrat raised even more than $1 to run a campaign for office in at least the last 3 decades in this area. But I knew that the people of this district deserve to have a choice, an actual choice in who represented them, gerrymandering or not. They deserve to have that voice. And so I actually ran for this seat in 2018. And the response was positively overwhelming. There were so many Democrats in that district who didn't even think Democrats ever ran before I showed up at their door. We ended up increasing turnout by almost 80% from the previous midterm. We swung the district 15 points. And so that's why I'm here, and it's the closest outcome we've ever achieved in this district. So I'm here running in 2020 so that we can move the needle the rest of the way. And I'm excited to give you some updates about
the Michigan Democratic Jewish Coalition.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I guess somebody wasn't muted. So an update on our race. It's actually an open seat. There's a heated Republican primary taking place right now. All of these candidates are stumbling over one another to be the most pro-Trump candidate in the race. And it's a shame that somebody has held so much, held firm so much power over their party that even local candidates need to pledge their loyalty. It seems like they're more running to serve him than they are our actual constituents. One of them is bragging about being Trump's Michigan finance chair in 2016, claiming credit for his win in Michigan. Another one is running on the Trump economy somehow. And yet another one actually attended and promoted those anti-Whitmer rallies that occurred in Lansing last spring. So unfortunately, that's what we have as choices on that one side. But on our side, this has really energized our campaign and our supporters here in Western Michigan. We've already raised 3 times as much money as we did in the previous cycle. That's really great, but our goal is 5 times, so we're well on our way, but we still need to fight for all the resources that we need. We have about 30 interns right now. They're doing things like research, phone banking, writing postcards, and canvassing as well, socially distanced, of course. So there's really never been an opportunity like this. There's never been a campaign like this ever in the history of this district. And so this is the year, this is our best chance of flipping this seat from red to blue. You may know we only actually need to flip 4 more seats to take control of the Michigan State House. And so we flipped this and 3 more, and I can look forward to working with Kyra, Mari, and Jody in a Democratic-controlled House next year to tackle some really, really important issues. Some of the issues that are important to me, education is very important, as you heard from Mari before. The state of Michigan, unfortunately, we have below average educational outcomes in our state compared to the other states in our nation. And on top of that, our students just lost a few months of in-person schooling this year, and we are facing huge funding crisis. We're talking about reducing funding $800, $900, maybe even $1,000 per student. I've gone to several school districts, school board meetings, excuse me, over the last couple of months, and they've all said the same thing, that, these budget shortfalls are going to be absolutely devastating. And this isn't just cuts to, extracurriculars, languages, arts. Some of our school districts, one of my school districts in this district has 40% students on free or reduced lunches. So these cuts are a matter of survival for some students, which is why, it really makes me angry when we see Republicans in Lansing vowing to reject federal assistance. We pay federal taxes. This is a national crisis. We need state legislators who are going to fight for the resources that we need to weather this crisis. And so education, very important to me. I have children that are 3, 3, and 5 who are going to be going to public schools for quite a long time. So I have a vested interest in making sure that their education system is well taken care of. And I just received news last week that I was endorsed by the Michigan Education Association as well. So, I could talk about a whole host of other issues. I know we don't have much time, but I just want to say that, what more important than issues could probably be something you could say character, if you will, is as important. We have somebody, the leader of our country now, who has emboldened racism, bigotry, anti-Semitism. And it's important that we have elected officials that stand up to him, stand up to these dark forces that seem to be, taking hold of our country. Last year in Grand Rapids, the Temple Emmanuel was vandalized. Anti-Semitic posters were posted on the doors of the synagogue. One of them was even a poster of Hitler. And the rabbi at the temple said that nothing like that had ever happened before in that community. I'm not naive to think that anti-Semitism doesn't exist here in Western Michigan, but it's obvious that that who is in office right now is giving people confidence to carry out these kind of acts. And I'll be honest, my district in particular does not have a large Jewish community, so I'm really eager to just listen and learn about the ways that I, as a legislator, can support the Jewish community. So we ran out of time. Thank you so much for having me on this forum.
No, you still have some time for some questions. We have 3 more minutes. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Wonderful. So I appreciate this opportunity. And again, if you want to learn more about my campaign and my website, feel free to go to billinthehouse.com.
Does anyone have any questions for Bill? Alyssa, go ahead.
You said we only need to flip 4 seats. What will limit the damage Republicans will do between November and January?
Well, what the limit's going to be is Governor Whitmer. What you saw in 2018 when Republicans had complete control over the state house and the state senate and the governorship is they got to pass a lot of awful lame duck legislation. And so the fact that we have Governor Whitmer there will prevent that from happening. They don't seem to have the support to override any vetoes. So that's why electing her was so important to keep check on the excesses of the Republican Party, which currently controls the House and the Senate.